It's one of my favorite times of the year. Girl Scout cookies are here through mid-March. Indeed, I think many of Americans enjoyed these so much. 200 million boxes were sold last year. And that all came at the beginning of the pandemic. So now that the pandemic is here, how are the Girl Scouts handling their cookie sales? We'll learn here in just a moment, right after this.
Husqvarna, zero turns, lawn tractors, walk behinds, handhelds, and auto mowers. All at Hometown Motors Incorporated. Buy it here, get it serviced here. Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe.
It is Girl Scout cookie time again, and we happen to have some Girl Scout cookies right here. We also have some Girl Scouts with us, a Girl Scout troop leader, as well as a membership manager, and Janet Littler is with us here today. And we're going to start with you, Janet, to tell us quickly here, what about this, the cookie sale is most important for people to know as we jump into this campaign?
Well, first of all, it is cookie season, so if you haven't seen any Girl Scouts out and about yet selling cookies, keep your eyes open because you should be seeing them very soon coming to a Lowe's or Petland or Walmart near you, hopefully. The cookie season will be running through about the third week of March. So you still got plenty of time to get your cookies. And I'm going to let our wonderful Girl Scouts who are here today tell you more about what they do with the funds that they earn from the cookie sales.
All right, we will switch gears now and we'll go out to Frankfort. And joining us now is Jen Ebright. She is the leader of Troops 1247 and 8759 based in Frankfort. And your daughters are involved here too. We've got Tempe Ebright, a Brownie Girl Scout with Troop 8759, and Katt Ebright, a Cadette Girl Scout with Troop 1247. Girls and ladies, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thanks for having us, Dan.
Sure. First, let's start with how long you've been in the Scouts here, and that we'll start with Tempe here.
I've been in Girl Scouts for 4 years.
4 years. Okay. And Katt, what about you?
I've been in Girl Scouts for 7 years.
So this is not your first go around with Girl Scout cookies.
Not at all.
And Jen, what about you? How long have you been involved?
I'm technically an 11-year member of Scouting. I spent 4 years as a Girl Scout and then 7 years as an adult member.
How have things changed for you from the days that you were in Girl Scout to now being a troop leader as far as the Girl Scout cookie sales are concerned?
To be honest, Dan, it hasn't changed a whole lot except the price of the cookie. We still sell the core cookies that I remember selling. The tagalongs were always my favorite, and they still are. The do-si-dos, the trefoils, Thin Mints, Samoas, those core cookies are still here from however many years ago it was that I was a girl. But we've made a few changes along the way, but as a whole, it's still the same.
Yeah. Tempe, what can you tell us about where the funds go from your cookie sales?
A lot of the time we'll do something for the girls, and then we'll also do something to help out our community.
Do you have something planned yet, or is there a goal that you're trying to reach?
I have a goal. I don't remember my goal, but we don't have any plans just yet.
Our troop goal has been to, we were going to do an overnight at the Columbus Zoo with her troop. Unfortunately, the pandemic kind of squashed that plan. We've been in touch with the Columbus Zoo to try to get it planned for this summer, but they're currently not doing overnights yet. But that's our goal, is to take an overnight to the Columbus Zoo. We always do some kind of community outreach. In the past, we've done donations to women's shelter in Chillicothe, and we always like to do something good for the community.
Katt, tell me, if you would, since you've been in a little bit longer than your sister, what it's like to go through a pandemic now. I mean, last year was far different probably than you've ever experienced as a Girl Scout cookie salesperson.
So basically how it's different is last year, the customers would just grab their cookies that they wanted. But this year we have to tell them that they cannot grab the cookies. We have to handle them and give them to them after their order is full and ready. So we cannot just let them grab their cookies.
So
I have to tell you, Dan, these girls are great at marketing. When things started to take a turn last March and we were nearing the end of cookie season, we were at a booth sale and the girls were instructing people, stock up on cookies in case of quarantine. And I can't tell you how many people stopped and turned and said, that's a great idea, and came back and bought more cookies. So they're forward thinkers.
Speaking of that forward thinking, I've heard of people purchasing multiple boxes and putting them in the freezer. And then when it's time to get that hankering for a Girl Scout cookie, you go right to the freezer again.
I'm one of those people. I have a freezer full.
We have boxes from, I think, 2017, and even though our cookies do have expiration dates, doesn't mean you can't eat them after, because they always still taste fine.
They still taste great.
You've got
I
cookies
just always buy a bunch.
older than what Tempe's been in the Girl Scouts. That's amazing.
Yes, I have cookies from Katt's first year still in my freezer that we still eat, and they still taste great.
That's fantastic. The longevity, almost like a twin.
Absolutely. Yes.
Janet, talk about as the girls have mentioned, the changes due to the pandemic, how that at the national level has now been brought down to here locally, because you handle not just Ross County, but also a couple of other counties too.
Yes. So as far as the cookie sales this year, like Jen said, it hit us last year right at the end. So some of it wasn't quite as traumatic last year. This year, it's been more of a struggle to find places that will let us have a booth, stores that will let us set up due to the pandemic. So that has kind of hurt a little bit. But we're taking advantage of those who are, and we instead of having a whole troop at a booth, we can only have 2 girls at a time with 2 adults, and they have to be, of course, spread apart. So all those things, keeping the hand sanitizer, anything, wearing the mask, everything we can to keep our girls safe. It's such an important program for them. Girls, do you remember the 5 skills that you learn for selling cookies?
Goal setting is one of them. It's basically the girls set a goal at the very beginning of cookie season, and that's how many boxes they want to sell. It kind of inspires you to keep on selling, so you can reach that goal and you can be proud that you've sold that many cookies.
What about the other ones?
Decision making is a good one as well. It kind of leads as well with like what we do with our cookie money. We have to use decision making to decide what we want to do with our cookie money that we've gotten from selling cookies.
The one that sticks out to me, Dan, is money management skills. Funny story, when Katt was in kindergarten, we did a parent-teacher conference right after cookie season, and her teacher told me that she was the only kindergartner who could count by 4s, because at that time boxes were $4 a piece. So she had been through 3 months of selling cookies and doing the math at $4 a piece. So she knew that skill as a kindergartner.
Oh, that's very nice. Now, are you able to make change too as well? And that's something that might have come along with this? Yeah.
That's something that we practice, before cookie season starts, especially before booth sales. We practice, when customers walk by and don't say anything, or customers who, we've had customers be rude to us, and, customers who say no. And those are things that the girls need to be prepared for, because you don't anticipate that. And the first time somebody says, no, thanks, I don't want cookies, they're kind of, what do I do? So we go through and we practice all of that, and they're quite good at their math skills.
And that has to be great for entrepreneurship, because you learn the successes and the pitfalls along the way.
Absolutely.
Has that made you stronger girls?
Has it made you stronger, yes?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Got a bigger backbone now, huh? Jen, how many girls do you have in your troops?
I have 7 in my cadets and 5 in my brownies. But I'm always looking for new girls, anybody who's interested in the Frankfort area.
So you'll have plenty of tables set up because you'll have fewer kids going out under one tent. And I imagine you've got several teams going out then.
Correct. Our troop has opted to just have one parent and her own child at each booth rather than having 2 adults and 2 girls. I can take both of my girls because we're all in the same household, but we do have multiple booths going on in different locations simultaneously.
Janet, let's take a look here because we're looking at a number of boxes just here in Ross County. Almost 50,000 boxes were sold here in Ross County, and you handle 3 counties. So tell us more about how many girls you have under your umbrella and how many boxes you sold last year.
Oh, I don't have that number of boxes in all 3 counties, Dan. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But we can probably at least double that. One of my counties is pretty large, and then the other one's kind of small. So let's just say we're probably close to 100,000 in my area.
That's incredible.
100,000 boxes of cookies, yeah, and that's just with I'd say 500 girls selling. So they sell quite a bit. I don't know how that number figures, but girls, do you know what your average is?
No.
About 500 boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Katt's highest year was 1,600, and that was the last year before Tempe joined.
And now she has to split it. Or do all of your families buy double?
No, we tend to split it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's no pressure from Janet's office saying you need to increase by 25% this year.
No, they're very understanding that, the girls do the best they can.
Yeah.
And, the parents help as much as they're able to. And that's one of the nice things about the way that the Girl Scout program is run is that, if a girl is unable to sell as many as another girl, she still gets an equal take of all of the proceeds. So it's not the kind of thing where the girl who sells the most is going to get the most benefit. All of the girls share equally of the troop fund. So it's really beneficial for some of those girls who may not have some of those other opportunities.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up, Jen. But yeah, she's absolutely right. So let's just say Jen's, just for ease, let's just say her troop earned $1,000. That would be the whole troop could go camping, and that it would be equal parts to each girl, equal funds to each girl, no matter how many cookies they sold.
Right. I know we're talking about the Girl Scout cookie sale right now, but this is just one thing that you do throughout the year. And as you mentioned, there's camping involved and other things as well. Do you have like an adventure camp or anything like that the girls?
Yeah, we have a weekly camp where we go to a campsite. We stay from around 9 o'clock in the morning to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And we just do our Girl Scout stuff. We camp, we make our lunch, all that stuff. And it's a week of all that.
Yeah, that's our day camp that we have every July. Last year it was canceled due to COVID, but we are hoping it will happen this year with, some strict guidelines. And then we also have a resident camp. We have a couple of resident camps in our council, but the one our local girls go to typically is Molly Lawman, which is in Lucasville.
Now let's talk membership. How do girls get involved with Girl Scouts? How do moms or even dads, I assume,
you have dads,
troop leaders as well?
Yeah, we absolutely do have dads. To get involved, they can go to our council website, which is gsoh.org, and just click join now. There's also tons of information if you're just wanting to do a little bit of research. You can call me, call 773-2146 and ask for Janet Littler or the membership manager in the Ross County, Pickaway County area, depending on where you are. And we also are, if you see one of the girls at cookie booths and you're interested in being a Girl Scout, let them know, and they should be able to point you in the right direction, right, girls?
And of course, as Jen said just a moment ago, you're always looking to increase your membership. So in regards
Sure.
to the troops, and it wouldn't hurt for a mom or a dad to ask you also how they might get involved, right?
Absolutely. It's always great to have parents who were involved, whether it's someone to be an additional driver or to help run a booth sale. We're never going to turn down additional help. The more help we have, the more we can do with our girls.
Again, Janet gave us the information for contact. We'll make sure we have that available in our description of the video here, so you'll be able to find that information out. Meanwhile, thank you again for the Samoas, which I devoured in one sitting, and the Thin Mints. There's still cookies in there, so very much looking forward to it. And of course, I'll probably end up buying some more from some.
Well, of course.
I think I know where you can get some.
Yeah, you've got a good idea. Go to the freezer and sell some more, right? Thank you to Jen, also Tempe and Katt over in Frankfort, as well as Janet. Thank you again for making your time available for us today. And best wishes through March, getting ready for the cookie sale through mid-March, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you so much, Dan, for having us.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you.